Hi, and welcome to another episode with me, your host, Chris, and I am here today to talk to you about meetings. That's right, everyone's favorite part of the job. Sitting around with all your coworkers, talking and talking and talking and talking. You ever notice that meetings just happen to go on and on and on? So many meetings are useless. Let's just call it what it is. They are useless. There's instances where people actually have meetings about meetings about meetings about the meetings of having too many meetings. And this is actually a true story. I have a couple friends who work in the oil and gas sector, and that's exactly how they've spent a large majority of their days. It's a matter of them going from coming into work, grabbing a cup of coffee, maybe a croissant or something like that if there happens to be one, immediately going into a meeting. That meeting will last anywhere from, what have they told me, about half hour to about 45 minutes, maybe even an hour. From there, they walk immediately across the hall into another meeting to have a meeting about the meeting they just had. But then after that meeting, which is another 45 minutes, they go into another meeting. Then they might have to go take a lunch meeting. So they have to go out somewhere for lunch. But they're not just socializing, building relationships with their colleagues. No, they're having a meeting about more meetings. This is crazy. Why do we put ourselves through this? Don't do it. So many meetings can be handled through email, through Slack or some other messaging platform, even text message. Send somebody a text. We're all on our phones anyways, even in the office when you're not supposed to be. You're still sitting there, you might as well just text your boss. Don't have meetings for the sake of having meetings. If you do happen to have a meeting, have a set agenda. Know how long that meeting's going to probably last. If you have a set agenda, you know that certain elements and certain things, certain objectives are going to take only 5 minutes or 10 minutes here. Maybe even take it a step further. If you want to have an informal meeting, do it as a stand-up. But even those have gotten to the point where they just are a pain in the butt. They just lag on. As humans, we're cool with standing. We don't want to sit in our office chairs all day. Sure, I'm going to go and stand and hang out for as long as I possibly can. Have I accomplished anything? Absolutely not. That is such a pain point in organizations right now, is that there's so many meetings. There's actually a level within some organizations that they feel that they're not accomplishing anything in their job unless they're putting people in meetings. It's nuts. If you feel as an employee that the only way you're accomplishing something during the run of a day is by putting others, taking them from their desk and their work into a meeting environment where they're having to sit down and not do anything for 45 minutes to 2 hours, whatever it happens to be, then there is something seriously wrong with your job title. You should go to your boss, figure out what they want from you, and if they tell you, we want you to put people in meetings, then you might want to question your placement within the organization. Yeah, that's not a good sign. No. But seriously though, if your job is required for you to take people from their work and put them in meetings, that's not cool. I got to the point when I was working in organizations that I wouldn't ever have a desktop computer for the fact that I wanted my laptop to bring to meetings so that I could only half listen to the meeting because most of it was garbage and spend that extra time working on client work, getting things done. You're at work for 8 hours a day, minimum, right? You're sitting in this office, you're expected to work, you've been signed on to work 40 hours a week, minimum, right? Maybe 32 if you're lucky. And if you're spending a quarter to half of your time in meetings, what are you actually getting accomplished, right? Nothing's getting done. It means you're going to have to put in more time, which takes away from your family time, which makes you feel unhappy, right? Maybe that's one less workout you get to do that week. There's always a trade-off. Everything comes with a trade-off. So if you're being pulled into meetings, well, that work still has to get done. So when are you going to find the time to do that? Let's not stress ourselves out anymore. Cut down your meetings. Find ways to cut out meetings in your workplace. Use the opportunity to find other ways to communicate. There's great apps out there like Basecamp that allow you to track everything to do with a project. Have quick little stand-ups where people can give you 5-minute intakes of what they've accomplished today, what their goals are for tomorrow, etc., etc. And this gets rid of the idea of having to take people away from their work and sit them down in a box, essentially, shoot the crap about children and baseball games and hockey and anything else, and waste everybody's time trying to do the social thing. Save that for later on. Maybe that's taking a break to go get a coffee. Maybe that's lunch. Maybe that's just after work, extracurricular activities. If you want to talk about hockey, build a company hockey team. Go out, do something later. Don't waste time in the meetings, or don't even have a meeting to get that in there. I love some of my employers, and I love their families. But if you pulled me into a meeting, I don't want to hear about how your kid did in Little League 5 and under soccer. And I'm not going to tell you about how my kid did. It doesn't matter. That's not what we're there for. We're there to get whatever the objective is of that meeting done so I can get back into work mode. Anyways, that's my thought for this week. I'm so happy you are all here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please subscribe. I'll give you the great opportunity right here. Yeah, right here. Ish, yeah. Subscribe now, and also send along any questions you have. Love to hear from you. Talk to you later.